Nothing about that week felt urgent, and that was precisely the problem. From the outside, everything followed routine. Reports were filed on time. Movements matched previous cycles. Communications stayed within protocol. To most people, it looked like stability. To someone trained to read patterns, it looked unnaturally clean. At the center of this story is not a commander or a politician, but an analyst, someone whose job is to trust data, not instinct. And yet, instinct is the first thing that begins to betray him. He notices small inconsistencies that don't justify escalation. A logistics request approved faster than standard procedure. A unit repositioned without a clear operational explanation. A scheduled exercise quietly removed. No replacement announced. Each detail is defensible. Together, they form something harder to dismiss. He assumes fatigue. Long hours do that. Patterns start to look suspicious when you stare at them too long. So he keeps working, telling himself that if something real is happening, it will eventually surface through official channels. That assumption is his first mistake, because war preparations don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they hide behind normality, using routine as camouflage. The more invisible the move, the safer it becomes. As days pass, the silence becomes louder. His flagged notes receive no response, no rejection, no acknowledgement, just absence. And in his world, silence rarely means ignorance. It usually means someone already knows. Late one night, he rereads a report line that answers a question no one asked. It's accurate, it's approved, and it shouldn't exist. That's when the unease settles in. This isn't preparation for a public operation. There's no code name, no briefing, no official authorization that can be traced. What he's seeing isn't action yet. It's alignment, quiet alignment across systems that were never meant to move together unless something irreversible was coming. At this point, nothing has happened. Officially, there is no operation, but the conditions for one are already in place. And once that happens, stopping it becomes almost impossible. At first, everything appears ordinary, almost boring, the kind of routine that builds confidence rather than suspicion. Reports arrive on time, systems respond as expected, personnel follow schedules that have not changed in years. The analyst has seen this rhythm thousands of times before. It's familiar, dependable, predictable, and that's precisely why the first irregularity barely registers. A report arrives late, not by much. Minutes, maybe an hour, easily explained. A network delay, a human oversight. It happens. He notes it mentally and moves on. Then another small delay appears somewhere else, a different department, a different system, still nothing alarming, still within acceptable margins. What draws his attention is not the delay itself, but how quickly it disappears from concern. No follow-up, no questions. The system absorbs it without friction. As the hours pass, more inconsistencies surface, each one insignificant on its own. A logistics file updated twice within seconds, then reverted. A unit icon briefly appearing on a tactical map before vanishing again. A scheduled training exercise marked as completed despite never taking place. The analyst pauses longer this time, staring at the screen, scrolling back through the data, checking timestamps. Everything is technically correct. Everything is signed off. Everything is clean, too clean. Systems are designed to show their mistakes. Errors leave scars. This leaves none. He tells himself it's noise. Large systems always generate noise. Thousands of inputs, thousands of outputs, human and machine layered together. Patterns emerge where none exist. That's a known cognitive trap. He's trained to avoid it. Still, something about the timing bothers him. The irregularities cluster around the same windows. Late night, early morning, transitional hours when oversight thins and responsibility diffuses. He begins comparing logs across departments. Not officially, not as part of a report, just quietly, for his own clarity. The timestamps don't align. Activities appear to leapfrog one another. Movements without origins. Decisions without discussions. Communications drop briefly at the same minutes each night. Not outages, not failures. Gaps. Perfectly timed absences that last just long enough to matter and not long enough to trigger alerts. Fuel allocations are approved and rerouted without comment. Convoys are logged as maintenance transfers, then quietly removed from the manifest. The analyst scrolls through archived data, deeper than he normally would, into older systems, retired frameworks, forgotten databases. And there it is again. Similar gaps, similar silences, years apart, different geopolitical context, same structural behavior. Whatever this is, it isn't new. He drafts a message, not a formal escalation, just a question, carefully worded, neutral, professional. It sits unsent for several minutes before he finally commits. The reply arrives hours later. 2 words stand out. No explanation, no follow-up, no reference number. The tone isn't threatening. It doesn't need to be. The message isn't telling him he's wrong. It's telling him he's not supposed to know. That's when the discomfort hardens into certainty. This isn't system system failure, it's system intent. From that moment on, he stops asking and starts watching. Patterns emerge faster now that he knows where to look. Names repeat across unrelated departments. Logistics officers appearing briefly in intelligence workflows. Transport coordinators attached to advisory roles that don't exist on paper. People crossing institutional boundaries without leaving traces. Security logs show doors opening without badge scans. Vehicles departing secure facilities without manifests. Satellite tasking windows shortened, then restored as if borrowed. Aerial imagery returns incomplete, not corrupted, just selectively absent. Blind spots placed with precision. What unsettles him most is the absence of urgency. There's no build-up, no visible preparation for conflict, no public signaling, no speeches, no alerts. Militaries preparing for war are loud, they leak, they posture. This is none of that. This is quiet, deliberate, patient. Assets are being positioned, but not many. No mass mobilization, just enough, always just enough. It feels less like an operation and more like a condition being set piece by piece, without anyone ever announcing it. The analyst realizes that approval no longer matters. Whatever this is, it passed the point where permission is required. The system itself is facilitating it, redirecting resources, closing its own eyes at precisely the right moments. The structure isn't resisting, it's cooperating. And cooperation on this scale doesn't happen by accident. Somewhere, long before he noticed the first delay, a decision was made to build something that could move without being named. The final clue appears almost casually, a single line buried inside a closed report, not flagged, not highlighted, referenced only once. It isn't an operation title. It isn't a mission code. It's a contingency, language designed not to activate something, but to allow something to continue if everything else fails. No signatures, no dates, no visible chain of command, just instructions written to survive scrutiny by never inviting it. In that moment, the entire structure snaps into focus. This wasn't approved because it didn't need to be. It was engineered to exist beneath politics, beneath hesitation, beneath denial itself. The analyst understands the brilliance and the danger of it at the same time. An operation that only exists while it's moving. If it succeeds, there's nothing to investigate. If it fails, there's nothing to trace. The vehicle's positioned in remote terrain. The exercises cancelled at the last moment. The silent transfers at night. None of those were the operation. They were the shadow it cast as it moved. Evidence not of action, but of absence. As dawn approaches, the feeds begin to go dark. Not all at once, one by one. Systems returning to normal states. Logs closing. Interfaces resetting. No alarm sound. No confirmations arrive. The world doesn't notice anything unusual. Officially, nothing happened. No statement is released. No record remains. Yet somewhere, because of decisions made quietly, patiently, and far from public view, a future has shifted course. The most unsettling realization comes last, long after the screens have gone silent. The operation that never existed may be the reason something else never happened at all.